Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing New Access map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 up here in the northwest, ending with Team 2 in the southeast. And with 12 players to introduce, I'm going to slow it down to -3. We have no time to go over introductions and early gameplay club coverage. Starting off with Team 1 southernmost player. It is in orange, the color orange. Better just have a Pokan going first land as a Cybern. He is a 1400. To his north in ruby red, we have the Aeon commander of Cascade going first land. He is in, like I said, ruby red at a 2000 rating. To his east in Pac-Man yellow, we have Mazzy going first land as an Aeon as well. He is a 1500. And to round out the front line here for Team 1, it is Active Backlash going first land. He is a Cybern, and he is a 1200. Continuing on westward, we have in stage blue Mellow going first land as a Seraphim. He is a 1600. And the highest rated play on Team 1 and in the game overall in the Rigard Air slot, it is Orb going first land as a Cybern at a 2200 rating. So for Team 1 side of things, they have 2 Aeon, 1 Seraphim, and 3 Cyberns. They lack the access to UEF technology. Starting up with Team 2's northeastern player in Emerald Green, we have Nightblood going first line as a Seraphim at a 1600 rating. To his south in Light Oak Town, we have Lumpy Sunrise going first line as an UEF. He is a 1600. To his west in Regal Purple, we have Schmuck Benny going first line as a Seraphim. He is a 1400. I think I said Schmuck, right? Yeah, I think that's how you say it. To his southwest in Chevy Crimson, we have Prince of Wrath going first line as a Cybern in Chevy Crimson. And to his east in Snow White, we have Bear SD, Triple C 97 going first, second, third land. He is a 1900, and again, he is going as a Seraphim in Snow White. And for the Rigard Echelon hit for his team, it is Blissful Noob going first line as a Cybern in Amethyst Purple at an 1800 rating. So for Team 2's side of the map, they have 3 Seraphim, 2 Cybern, and 1 UEF, which means they do not have access to Aeon technology. And as we remember, Team 1 does not have access to UEF technology. And with 12 players in the game so far, of course, not everybody will survive to the end of the game, as is the nature of FAF. How much mass is there on the map? There is 14,000, so a tiny bit over 1,000 mass per player, which isn't bad, but it's definitely not optimal, especially for players of 22 and to 1200 rating. They could probably use a lot more mass to scoop up. But in lieu of mass on the map in terms of reclaim, there is a ton of mass points. We have a Trimax here for Team 2 on this eastern side. There's one right here. There's another one right here. It's close enough. I'd say that's a Trimax position. And then another Trimax, and it's a little far apart, but I might call that a quad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Trimax positions with at least one quad. Depending on how you define quad mix positions, that is a ton of mass points to claim on the map, and a lot of it in the middle plateau section here. I kind of see it probably, at least at the minimum, Team 2 will grab this one, Team 1 will grab this one, and then they'll probably shift in where Team 1 will grab the one on the west, Team 2 will grab the one on the east. And essentially, even though the diagonal is down this way from northeast to southwest, it'll kind of be more kind of essentially north to south in terms of that direction for shooting off plasma and rockets or missiles or whatever else people want to throw at one another in this game. So without further ado, with everybody introduced and the mass covered, let's go ahead and speed this game up back to 0. It is a little weird saying speed up to 0 because I went negative, but that is right. It just sounds weird sometimes. Anyway, the first unit out and running around the map for Team 1 is Mellow. He has a nice little Selen, getting your nice little view on the opposite side of the map with a bomber to support him from the skies with a nice little air scout to get some nice little vision. We do see, of course, the comms on Team 2 and Team 1 starting to leave their bases. There are at least 3 players on Team 1 going for that middle plateau. We have Cascade, we have Maisie, and we have Orb. The only player on Team 2 to go to the middle is Schmuck. And Schmuck will get there a little bit sooner than his opponents, but again, it will be a 3-1 advantage for Team 1, which will be huge for them considering that there is a lot of mass to scoop up. I'm kind of surprised to not see at least one other player on Team 2 go in that direction. We do see Blissful going in that direction, but he's fairly far behind of his mirror of Orb. Orb probably essentially just built a T1 facility and went, nah, it's fine, they'll deal with it later, and then they just left. We do see in the northeast, Team 2's Nightblood just going to push against Team 1's active backlash. He does have a couple of engineers on station to be able to scoop up some reclaim in the form of these trees and some rocks as well. But this is going to be very interesting to see how Team 1 handles this. There is a second player on Team 1, Mellow, pretty close by here to active backlash. So Team 2 is being very aggressive with that commander. It's going to be interesting how it ends up working out for them. Reducing that bomber, getting a nice amount of value, taking off some engineers and some T1 mexes. One of them has been killed off and is going after another one. Takes out that engineer. Team 2 needs to get some interceptors in the skies to deal with that. First upgrade on the cards here is for Team 1's Ruby Red player, F Cascade, going for speed upgrade. Should go for range, but is getting some nice assistance from 2 of his teammates. So probably will go for range right after this. Let's see, am I correct? And I am correct. And I kind of know how Aeons play. You kind of almost don't go for just one without the other unless you go range and then sensor package. So if you go for speed, you like 99.9% likely go for range. And then he's just going to go, oh, nope, I was going to say go for advanced range. But we'll cancel it off for the time being. We do see some nice little poking going on between Team 1 and Team 2 on this western side. Team 1, is in deep a little bit sooner than their opponents against Prince of Wrath. Those Mantis are focused on the engineers first. Team 1 tanks should be produced pretty well quickly to be able to deal with that push. But there is a nice little column of units outbound from the snow player of BRS pushing into the territory owned by Cascade. And with that column of Team 2, a Blissful Noob coming in to assist with a nice little factory. He still isn't on the front lines, and like I said, there are 3 comms on that front line in the middle here for Team 1. That is a huge amount of firepower concentrated in one place. We'll see how Team 1 is able to leverage that to their advantage. Engineers are coming on station for Cascade. Probably will put a T1 facility right there so more engineers can be produced. Or spam up some Aurora or even some T1 mobile artillery. We do see Schmuck trying to navigate his facilities and try to push back Cascade. Schmuck doesn't have any upgrades on board that commander, which means Cascade is in the driver's seat and can easily retreat and still be in range. We do see Orb coming in to assist as well, and we do see Amethyst Noob, not Amethyst Noob, we have Blissful Noob in Amethyst Purple coming to assist. It looks like he's going to go straight from the middle, and then Schmuck might fall back a little bit to deal with this spam coming out here from Maisie. We do see in the north, gun speeding range has been completed by active backlash going for stealth. And now Team 2's player of Nightblood has completely surrounded with no hope of breaking through that nice little blockade that Team 1's Mellow has erected. Love Me Some Rice gets pinged for some odd reason. Don't know what's going on about that. Maybe saying you move up to push back Team 1. Who knows? And Team 2 doing a pretty good job of forcing Team 1 to divert at least some attention to this western side. Cascade's forces are now busy dealing with that instead of reinforcing their commander. But we do see Blissful Noob and Schmuck Berry retreating in the face of that Aeon commander. 1-star efficiency on board. A nice little jump in hit point region and 10% more hit points in total. 10%, again, it's better than nothing. It's better than 5%. That's definitely for sure. We do see some Aurora trying to face back against those Thams, and that glitch is still there. I don't know what setting I turned on or turned off. It was gone at some point when I did my whole fixing my cast and quality, whatnot. And some reason I was messing with some settings, and somehow I turned that back on, and now it's haunted me ever since. I shouldn't have touched it. It's annoying. Anyway, we do see stealth going on the way for both of the Cyber commanders in the southwest here for both these teams, for Prince of Wrath and for Bettergy. Both have the gun already on board, and the units are having a nice little tussle in the western side of the map. But really, most of the action, or at least the more important action, I should say, is happening in the middle of the map here. Team 1 has almost claimed the entire plateau, and this will put Team 1 in a huge position to put some artillery on the southern and northern ends and force back the comms. Love you some rice and Team 2's BRS. I feel like Team 2's way back into this game will be the air game. We do see Orb starting to retreat at least a little bit. It's not 20 or so minutes in fear of some snipes, but again, Orb being the frontline player, not frontline player, the backline player, the air player, doesn't really want to get sniped, especially because he has a high target on his back, because he is the highest rated player in the game. T2 is on the way here for Team 2's a blissful noob, if I can do the T's and the 2's correctly. And the Cascade Commander is being shot up by some bombers, but there is a decent amount of AA in that mix. I think a couple more bombers would get some passes, and they're actually going to rotate and go after the AA. One of those pistols is taken out. Bombers getting some nice value out of them, getting a couple of quad kills. But we do see some interceptors on station, and they will deal with those very quickly. And now in the northeast section, we did see Nightblood retreat, but he's now lost the eastern edge as well once again. That bomber that came in at the beginning of the game definitely didn't set him up for success in that regard. But he is now with his teammate of Love Me Some Rice, so hopefully they'll be able to consolidate forces and resources and push back Team 1 on that eastern side. And in the southwest, it is Cybran v. Cybran. Betagy faced off against Prince of Wrath. Both have the exact same upgrades on board. Both will probably go for Nano after this. The forces from Team 1's Betagy are a little bit more numerous than Team 2. But there are some PD going to be built to assist in defensive measures as well. And I don't think... I mean, honestly, the only thing that this did is dumped a bunch of Team 1 mass on the doorstep of Prince of Wrath. I feel like Betagy probably was hoping to at least secure this position, but I don't think he will, especially with more forces being diverted in that direction. And Team 2's BRS could divert some resources and units to go westward and just try to blockade that side of the map as well to prevent any reinforcements from coming from Betagy as well. So there are some avenues of strategy here in this game. Of course, it is an RTS, real-time strategy game, and that is why we come to one of the reasons why at least I like to watch and cast these games is the strategy involved. Team 2's players going for some speed range upgrades both on Cybran and Seraphim Commander. Speed and range also going on for the Cybran Commander of Orb. And he is going to stay there for now on that front line. Looked like he was going to retreat, but he decided against it. We do see Maisie actually retreating. Very interesting. You'd think that they'd press the advantage while they have it, but they've grabbed most of the mass now. So it's not really a huge issue if one retreats, but I guess they might be focusing other efforts on this western side as well. T3 air has been completed by Orb. T3 air has not been completed. It is almost there for Team 2, so we'll see how that ends up going for them. That does give Orb a slight advantage in the air game. But, I mean, we've seen it where some teams get air, multiple players go for air, and they still lose. So just because your opponent has T3 air before you do does not mean they will automatically win that fight. Splash going on the way here for Mellow. Not even gun speed and range, going for Splash. Very interesting. And did we see Nightblood going for... What is that? Region? That's not Region Aura. Yeah, that is Region Aura. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I just have to make sure all that. But Schmuck control... That... I mean, there were two comms pressing him. I don't think there was a PGen next to him. Maybe he just controlled Cade knowing that it would be over for him anyways. I don't know. But that is the first departure / kill of the game here for the game. For the game. Team 1 has 6 players left. Team 2 had 5 players left. And we do see that Blissful Noob will inherit everything that Schmuck owned, which would be a nice boon to his air grid and resources in that regard. I don't know, maybe a pigeon was killed. I don't know, but I don't think there was. Very weird that it was Control K. Maybe he just was done with the match or whatever the case may be. Could have been a dropped connection or whatever. I don't see any comments in chat about it, so probably just knew what the game was going to end up being and just decided to, for him at least, and just decided to end it all there and then. But I don't like that approach. Even if you know it's going to end badly, it doesn't mean you should just leave. You know, something could happen and you could be, right back in it. We see Bai saying to Orb. And now Team 1 controls the entire middle plateau of the game. Huge amount of territory for Team 1 to own, especially this early in the match. Definitely will be a tougher hill to climb for Team 2 to conquer the game if they are so able to accomplish that. We do see a Strat Bomber online for Orb, so he's going for first bomber, or at least first or second bomber. And that bomber is starting to very much aggravate Team 2's BRS. Looks like it went after, I think, a couple of his units. I don't know exactly what it... Oh, there goes Bomber is active and online, going for nothing, actually. Bomber doesn't even drop. There's some flak in the mix, and there is a couple of interceptors still chasing that Revenant. The Revenant should have enough AA on board to deal with those interceptors, but there are some ASFs that come in and protect the T3 bomber, says BRS. And active backrush says, okay, that's not what? Okay. Just responding to his opponent, BRS, I guess. But he is pushed very far forward here on this western side, essentially almost about to isolate Berdergy. It will give a lot of momentum for Prince of Wrath to push back on this western side and completely claim that for his team. We do see Team 2 in the east. Both Nightblood and Love Me Some Rice trying to hold up against the combined efforts of Mellow and Active Backlash. We can see a lot of T2 units starting to intermix here with those T1 units. We are in 13.5 minutes. There are some players that skip T2, go straight for T3. We kind of see that outbound from Maisie where they have the T3 already online and going for Harbingers. And I don't see any T2. That does happen once in a while, but usually it's in the kind of games where you have a lot of players that go land, and one can usually just go, I'll just spam some Team 1 and then just go straight for T3 and just call it a day. Usually that, you totally messed me up, Cascade. What? How? Please explain. Oh, because he went to the middle, maybe? I don't know. You took the Mexes. What? I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway. So I assumed you would defend them. Ooh, ouch. Ouch, that's a burn. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. A little bit of salt. Gotta love it. Gotta have a little bit of salt with your food. In this case, the food being a FAF gas. We do see a couple of Aurora just kind of hanging out over here on this upper plateau. Kind of just kind of hanging there. Not really doing a whole lot. But Team 2 not pressing the issue, and this will give a lot of time for Team 1 to build up their mass generation, their eco, their hold over the galaxy, or in this part of the galaxy at least. And it will amount to Team 1 being in the lead in terms of mass generation by at least 50 to 60 mass per second. It is a chunk, especially at 15 minutes in the game. T2 Tickle Cannons are online for active backlash. Will force a little bit of Love Me Some Rice back, but Team 2's Nightblood is going to probably press the issue on the eastern side of the map and then kind of hook west to kind of force Team 1's active activists to either engage over there or just write that territory off. We do see that units are inbound. Team 1's Ilshavas are moving in as well. We do see some T3 Titans and some Pillars. Great units to counter Team 1 spam. And I think Nightblood's going to get some veterancy on board that commander here pretty soon. Already has one. Probably will get at least 2 or 3. And he does have some T1 units, some Thams to regen as well. And those Ilshis can overtake T3 units, but I don't think in that many numbers it's going to do a whole lot. Overcharge does kill one of the Ilshis, and the other one does get targeted. Oh, there's actually 2 more in there. But the Titans do focus on the Ilshis, forcing them back. So Team 1's nice little kind of pincer maneuver doesn't really materialize, and Team 2 will hold position for now. It does look like BRS has had to retreat in the face of these Harbingers kind of skating the edge of that cliffside. And there's a bunch of T1 spam trying to intercept those units. There's even a couple of Zui trying to do their best to throw those artillery in their faces. BRS, how are you 1900? Says Blissful Noob. Probably talking about this little run-by that's occurring. And Team 2's Blissful Noob doesn't have... Oh, he has... Why does he have a radar in the middle of Maisie's T2 Mexes? Please explain. I don't... Maybe he dropped that earlier? I don't know. The engineer is there and the radar is there. Your opponent messed up Blissful Noob making the comment that they messed up Benny. And you have done nothing. So there's salt on both sides of the map here in this game. Look, his eco noob. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the heck was that? What the... I'm about to make GC nice, GC cool. I don't have air, by the way. He's on 2 base. Noted. That was a lot of ticks very, very quickly. Don't know what that was about. But we do see in the north, and I didn't jump cut or anything. That was a genuine like, oh, hello. And those Harbingers have gotten all the way back to Team 2's Blissful Noob's base. And they're just wrecking shop at BRS, trying to desync the game. Sorry about that, says BRS. We do see just a bunch of spam trying to catch up, but the combo Blissful Noob will come in and intercept that. BRS, can you fix? Just leave, says Maisie. This is awful. I guess there's a lot of issues with BRS's connection. And there is no desync. We'll make that aware to everybody watching. There is no desync, so even if he does leave, that it will not cause an issue. And obviously you're seeing this game, so it was casted, so that's also a good sign. But really, TML says Prince of Wrath, and there goes the control K from BRS. He's not doing it on purpose, this Cascade. And that would be another departure here for Team 2, dropping this game to a 6v4 in favor of Team 1. Nightblood facing a decent amount of issues over here in the northeast, couple of T2 tanks as well as a ton of spam. He does have Reach and Aura, 44 hit points a second. Doesn't even have Nano on board, that Seraphim Commander. Which, you know, I mean, he went for Reach and Aura, so I guess that's the reason why he doesn't have that. But still kicking it with 44 hit points. Has gotten 71 kills. Excuse me, 72 so far. That is a decent amount of kills. They probably are mostly T1, but still, it is a decent amount. Let Me Surmise has a nice little firebase going on. His shield got taken out, but his voice back, the comms of Active and Mellow once again, and has actually diverted some of his T3 units to north to isolate the units in the east here for Active Backlash, and the T2 Mexes are the main target, and Active Backlash is going to receive a nice little annoying strike in the supply line over there to the north. And still, Team 1's Bettergy holding strong, trying to force back Team 2. Is still getting boxed in, but now with one player on Team 2 having 3 bases, that is going to jumpstart his eco. He's at 254, and Maisie with only 1 base. It has 200, also has a lot of the upper plateau mexes, to be fair. But Bombers are inbound, going after Cascade's Commander. We even see some Corsairs as well, trying to snipe the Commander and strike a blow to Team 1's front line. Radar does get taken out in the midst of that, and the ASFs are going to be enough to gain air control. Bomber is inbound. Corsair fire constantly raining in. AA trying to do its best to take out that bombers that are inbound. Cascade only has 1 more bomb to evade before, oh, never mind, and he's gone. And Team 1 will lose the first play of the game at 19.5 minutes. And it is Cascade, not necessarily the frontline player, but the kind of side player that went to the front line. And with that, Team 2 has struck a blow against Team 1, making this game now a 5v4. Still in favor of Team 1, but it's better than 5v4. What did I say? Did I say 5v1? I think I said 5. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, so 5v4 in favor of Team 1. That's probably what I said. And just confused myself. Nano Repair now going on the way here for Team 2's Nightblood. He dropped into the yellow, but has done a significant amount of damage to the land army over there in the northeast, especially with the amount of 7 mexes that are down by these Titans. That does a decent amount of damage to Team 1's eco. It's still in the lead, though, but again, at about that same, about 50 or 60 mass ahead. It does look like Team 2 either lost all those ASFs or something happened, but Team 1 now has control of the air game, but just barely, though. There's not that many ASFs online for Orb. He did produce a GC, if I can find it. At least that, nope, there it is. Oh, that's Maisie's. Oh, maybe it was handed over. Oh, it was probably handed over. That's what it was. And we do see Team 2's Let Me Surmise pushing forward once again on this eastern side. Has a lot of Titans. I'm kind of interested in why he's not going for Percy's. I feel like they are the better unit in general. But again, when you're facing off against a bunch of spam, having that fire rate is definitely important. So I do understand him going for that in that regard. But speaking of which, there is a Percy coming in to assist. We do see a lot of build up here in the middle here for Team 1's yellow player of Maisie. Again, has that Colossus, is going to start steamrolling those boys from side. Team 2 needs some sort of defensive measure, or it's not going to feel good here pretty soon. Team 2 is gaining some ground in the east, and the Titans are just going to push on through, trying to avoid anything and everything in their path. And honestly, at this rate, there's really nothing to stop them. Calm of Melo trying to catch up, but just can't not do that. He can only move so fast. Those Titans can move faster. Radar going down. Mechs is going down. Oh, that's going to hurt against Melo's eco. Oh, you can just feel it. Once you see that line of Mechs is being taken out, you can just feel it. Ilshi is not going to be enough to stop this amount of Titan spam. That is inbound. We have some Zooey shooting off a couple of artillery shells, but it's just not going to be enough. The Titans also have a shield on board, so even if you take out the shield, if you don't kill the actual Titan, it can regen that shield back up, and then you have to deal with another 720 hit points once again. T3 Mechs are being spammed down. You can see how long it takes to deal with them from Titans. Percy's, it's only like 3 shots and they're gone? 3 or 4 shots. I think it's 3, but it might be 4. Anyway, this is huge here for Team 2. They needed some sort of break. And Orb now coming to defend his side of the map, or his nice little aircraft that he has built. Overcharge kills off one of those Titans and goes, nah, I'm not going to engage. See you, bye. And we have some Harbingers coming in as well, and some bombers over top. Those Titans will not make it home, but their mission has been accomplished, taking out another 5 Mechs here for his side of for his team against Team 1, and one of those at least was T3. So that's 27 mass a second. Bombers are inbound to try to deal with the AA that is protecting that experimental. A lot of the bombs trying to intercept where that Redeemer is going, but a lot of the shots actually miss. And they're now getting the Harbinger now. That Redeemer still online at 250 hit points. We have Titans, not Titans, we have Bricks retreating in the face of that T4 experimental. But this is mainly a delaying tactic while Team 2's Blissful Nuke gets the chicken online. And this will be huge for Team 2 to be able to defend against this push. Will not kill it outright, but at least if the chicken can get nearby when it's dead, that might be it. Team 2's commander of Prince of Wrath has now retreated. It looks like Maisie was trying to catch him napping. Doesn't look like that is going to be the case. If that GC doesn't turn around here pretty shortly, it is not going to feel good. A lot of fire is going to just race into its back and drop those hit points down very, very quickly. The chicken is now in range, and that Colossus already down into the yellow, pretty close to sub 50% of its hit points. Now it's down to sub 50% of its hit points. And that might just be a mass gift here to Team 2. Isn't really going to get any worth it. Even the Colossus is even going after any of the Mexes or anything. I don't know where Maisie's going with it, but don't know. Grabs a brick, tries to crush it to death with his giant vacuum arms. The brick will be freed. And let's see if that AoE will kill it off. Nope. But actually the crash damage from the Colossus will kill it, so it doesn't even matter. Oh. Was he getting pinged? Not a lot of AA with that GC. And Lemmy Samurai says, oh. Don't know what he's going with that. But the airlock has now commenced here for Orb, trying to prevent any sort of ASS from taking off from the air grid here for Blissful Noob. Looks like there was maybe some sort of attempt to maybe shield that GC. It's a little too late in that regard for him to make a mecha with that GC reclaim. Yep, that is definitely what he should be doing. Monkey Lord or something at a minimum. We do see one gunship inbound from Team 1's Orb. Don't know where he's going. Probably going after those engineers, trying to slow down that reclaim. Or just attack all of the reclaim to be done with it and try to diminish it. But no, just going after all the engineers. There is a little bit of AA on that chicken, but it's not really enough to deal with a T3 heavy gunship like the Whaler. ASFs are in the back line being taken out by Team 1's ASFs, and still being shot at by some AA in the mist as well. And T3 SAM sites have been built to start dealing with the ASF. So again, the airlock does occur for a little bit, but that is the downside with doing it in the middle of a enemy air grid, is that they're just going to build AA and call it a day. Even in normal grids as well, land grids, whatever the case may be, all the other player has to do is build AA, and that's it. We see some missile launches being occurred in the east. There, Advanced Nano is coming online here. Looks like that Blitz faced another sort of issues with the fact that he had Nano on board initially and still gets dropped into the yellow. So once he gets Advanced on board, he'll be perfectly fine and get probably well, he's at 5-star veterancy now. He should have 250, I think, is the max regen for a Seraphim commander. Although here pretty soon, if that upgrade does finish, he's getting pressured by a bunch of T2 Vipers. He is sitting underneath Nice T3. No, it's actually, that's a T2, excuse me, not a T3. The sniper bot trying to dissuade all of these Vipers. Probably needs a couple more sniper bots, to be fair, to really just force this back. Or some Team D or something. But that sniper bot does walk out of the shield protection, and it will die. Oh, that's gotta hurt. 49%, almost 50% here for Team 2's Nightblood. Hopefully doesn't get killed off by missile launchers while I'm talking about some other side of the map. But Team 2's teammate here to the west of Love Me Some Rice going for Tactical Nuke. That's going up very quickly. Wow. Why is that going up so quickly? Does he just have a lot of mass stored? I guess so. And that's why it went up. Whoa, what? Oh, I guess. Oh, that's right. When you go from tactical missile to tactical nuke and you don't build a tactical missile first, it builds a tactical missile and then goes for tactical nuke. It's so weird how that works. That's going up very quickly. But we do see Bedaji trying to hold off this push outbound from Prince of Wrath. There's a lot of Harbinger assistance coming up from his teammate of Maisie. Looks like it was gifted over to... Actually, it's actually controlled by Orb, excuse me. It's coming out from the base to the west from Cascade. And that will be forcing back Team 2 on this western side. Does have a nice little Monkey Lord that is online. And I'm going to select Nightblood. How did his commander fare? His upgrade is still commencing. It's still on its way. It's close to probably 85-90%. That will definitely finish. Looks like most of those missile launches were dealt with eventually. But Team 1 building a lot of spam on this eastern side as well. And Team 2 does have the PD to hold them off, but again, against T1 artillery, not necessarily. Against other tanks, yes, but not the artillery. This T1 artillery outranges T1 PD. Just a nice counter to it. And I don't see any sort of spicy efforts here. We didn't even talk about, mass income or whatever in general. Team 1 at 1,000, almost 1,000 mass. Team 2 at 1.2, so at least 200 mass more than their opponents. We see 4 players left on Team 2, 5 players left on Team 1, and both teams occupying about 50% of the map. Some of it is dead or in no man's land, but I feel like between Team 1 owning the middle and Team 2 owning the east, essentially, and the west, essentially 50-50. Night, I dump mass, you spam chickens, K, says Nightblood. We do see in the west a couple of gunships will take out that lonely little brick trying to make its way to that front line. There is a chicken and a monkey online going after a monkey lord from Team 1's Bedaji, and that monkey lord has seen better days. I mean, by seen better days, I mean like it was better like 10 minutes ago. And that monkey lord is already dropped below 50% of its hit points, is coming into contact pretty shortly with the monkey lord from Team 2, and the laser will eviscerate all those shields. It will be overwhelmed here eventually by all the sheer number of Harbingers, but there's a second chicken coming inbound here from Blissful Noob to assist, and that Monkey Lord will drop into the yellow as well. Looks like the Whalers are going after the Monkey Lord first. Definitely the best option there. Take out the stuff that's super weak and then go after everything else, but the Monkey Lord is down, and the combo Bedaji does get pinged, and now the chickens will open fire on Team 1's Bedaji. Bedaji just seeing the demise of his Monkey Lord, tries to rush his friend, but doesn't make it in time, and there he goes. The Monkey Lord for Team 2 does get killed off, but Team 1 loses Bedaji in the midst of that. It is now a 4v4 tied up game. Looks like Team 1's Orb will inherit this. Probably will give it over to Maisie, most likely. So then Orb can focus on defensive measures and also some air grid, but maybe he'll just keep it. He has a Colossus and is actually coming in to assist with his own commander. We do see a Colossus over here in the east. That gets taken up by the combined chickens. And the chicken from Team 2's Blissful Noob. Oh, it needs to just engage. Just engage the Colossus. Walk right next to it. It will kill you by the time you get there, but you will guarantee the kill on the chicken. I don't think you're going to save this one chicken here from Blissful Noob. It's just not going to... It has too many scratches, too many exposed armor bits and the like. And there goes that Colossus. It is down. Oh, I thought it died of the chicken fire. I guess it doesn't? No, it does. In the east, team... No, no one died. Okay, I thought someone died, but no, that's just the Billy Nuke outbound here from Love Me Some Rice going after that spam and a couple of T2 units. Secondary Billy Nuke is inbound. Actually, that was just artillery. Never mind. That is the missile? No, missile's too small. Oh, it might be. Hold on. No, that was a regular artillery shell. It was not a missile. That is the missile. Yep, there it is. I was like, that missile has to be a little bit bigger than that. Nuke is inbound going up to the Team 3 land factory here, supported by some engineers. And there it goes. There goes that facility up in holy hellfire. And in the east, Nightblood being assaulted by some bricks. He does have nano and regen and gun. 270 hit point regen on board that commander. Not 250, 270. And has 52,000 HP at his disposal. Nuke outbound once again, going for this nice little group of T2 and 1 T3 mechs. And maybe a couple of bricks will get singed in that regard. There's not a lot of TMD online to be able to deal with this Nuke, which means a lot of value will be gained from this. And geeks out all 3 of those mechs. Team 2 is leveling some rice at 21,000 mass killed. Seems like that other game that I casted. I think it was him. I think it was in that game where he just had a ton of mass killed by his Billy Nuke. We have an Autumn disagreeing with that environment here that he's sitting on, saying, hey, I gotta be lower. Hey, 50,000 hit points, says Mellow. Might be able to turn it around if you secure the mass, says Cascade. You can see the momentum starting to shift in Team 2's directions, at least on this eastern side. The western side looks like it's kind of stabilized between both teams. Neither team really getting a huge advantage except for the mass that Team 1's going to gain. But Billy Nuke lands once again, taking out chunky units once again. Percy's again not the best unit to take out spam, but they do have a lot of HP and they do a lot of damage, guaranteeing a one-shot kill against all of that spam. We do have Nightblood now in retreat in the face of that Monkey Lord. I think he bit off a little bit more than he can chew. We'll have to retreat. Overcharges into the brick, not the Monkey Lord. Oh, and that's going to hurt. Team 2 is going to lose Nightblood, and everyone's just going to sit there and admire a nice little flowery explosion that's going to occur right about now. There it goes. And now Team 2 loses another player on this side of the map. It is Nightblood, and now it is a 3v4 in favor of Team 1. Airfight over the top of those Harbingers here for Team 1 on that western side. And a Monkey Lord to boot as well. As there's just going to be some Colossus spam outbound. One has been built here by Maisie once again. Oh, that's an experimental built by Orb. Oh, no, it's a crab. There it is. Yeah. This is going to be some T4 spamming going down here on the western side. I knew you were going to do that. Says, how my ASF do 0 damage. My spider senses tingled. This Orb. What? What were they going after? There's no donut, so I don't know. There's not a bug either. My spider senses tingled, says Orb. That's chicken plus Monkey Lord in the west side, but it's against a crab and a Monkey Lord. That crab will win that fight any day of the week, especially if it stays at range. Monkey Lord is now in range of the chicken, but the chicken's in range of the crab. The very rock, paper, scissors environment going on right here. Monkey Lord can't do much about it at this point. Might as well just turn it around and just throw it at your opponent and do some damage to that chicken. The Monkey Lord just might get out of range. Look at that. The Monkey Lord from Team 2's Prince of Wrath going to come and assist. And now there's a Colossus as well. Team 2, I mean, they haven't built a Fat Boy yet. Oh, it's, nope, not even coming online for Lumby Surmise. No Fat Boys yet. Just going to Billy Nuke the crap out of Team 1. And that's just how it's going to be. Crab has retreated a little bit, but the chicken has also retreated as well. So both of the experiments from Team 2 are going to be fine. The Monkey Lord might be dead if the Authams do come in range of it. The Authams, 4 blows from Noob, are just going to run straight into all of that fire. And they will probably kill off that Monkey Lord. Does get a nice rare convention though to assist in heat point regen. But actually, no, I don't think they will get the Monkey Lord. It's just a lot of mass to scoop up here on that western side of the map. Speaking of which, there are 139,000 mass. Actually, no, excuse me, 140, close to 150,000 mass on the field. Not enough to build everything in the game, but enough to build essentially everything, bar a couple of very nice little game ender structures. In the southeast, I don't see any sort of spicy plays coming out from Team 2's air player. Crab has been built here for Prince of Wrath. Chicken has been built, moving on the eastern side, loving some rice. Just building up his T3 spam facilities, as well as getting some nice assistance from a chicken. But again, it's a lot of spam here for Team 1. Not a lot of there's no beefy amount of units except for a couple of Autumns. It's mainly just spam. And the Autumns here for Blissful Noob just eradicating everything that Team 1 gained in the early part of the game. And now that Monkey Lord will assist that Crab, and the Colossus coming in to boot to assist and forcing back Team 2 once again. Crab is coming into that front line to assist. The experimentals are built on Team 1's side of the map. Looks like it was probably a Monkey Lord. Yes, it was. And isn't another Crab? Yes, it is. Walking into trap, says Cascade. The experimental stop for a brief moment. I mean, there's a chicken about to be completed. There's a lot of bricks being spammed out of that facility. SMD being built. And I wouldn't say necessarily it's a trap. It's essentially, it's 2 chickens, which are essentially 1 Colossus. So it's a pretty even. But I don't know. If Team 1 does engage, it puts the mass on Team 2's side of the map. They definitely don't want that. But if the secondary Megalith comes in to assist, that would definitely put it in the hands of Team 1. And that Billy Nuke lands in the middle of that base hit for Maisie. Team 3 land headquarters almost destroyed. That's going to hurt. And now we have some Whalers coming in to deal with those Autumns coming in from Blissful Noob. Billy OP, says Cascade. It's definitely not OP. Just built some TMD and call it a day. 46,000 mass has been destroyed by that comm, most of it being from the Billy Nuke. And the Whalers going after the chicken. Could have easily gone after the commander here. Don't know if they knew he was there or not. They knew it was a unit, didn't necessarily know it was the comm. T1 AA being spammed up just very quickly to deal with those Whalers, and also some T3 Cougars have been built to try to deal with those gunships. Team 2 still on the offensive on this northeastern side. We have some forces in the mix going after everything that active backlash owned. He has a couple of T3 mixes. Is now building some highs, but essentially he's been knocked out of the game for a little bit as he rebuilds his eco. Megalith has been defeated by the dual Megaliths, but the Megaliths here from Team 2 is not going to be enough to face off against the dual Megaliths from Team 1. And now the Colossus also severely wounded as well. The chickens just might engage and go after the Colossus. Obviously, the Crab has to actually target the weaker of the 2 chickens, or the Crabs, or that's not going to always be a good day. But the lasers are going to just focus on that first line chicken. The chicken is just going to sacrifice itself on top of those Megaliths, and the Megaliths know it. They're going to turn around and try to retreat and get out of range. Those guns are not omnidirectional, though, which means they cannot fire while moving forward. Or they can't fire backward while moving forward, kind of similar to how the Salem works. But the Ion Storms will engage pretty much on top of all 3 of those experimentals. The Megalith is not going anywhere. There it goes. That Megalith is down. That Colossus is down. And that Megalith here to the southwest will surely die to that Crab. So all 3 of those experimentals die with both of those chickens. So definitely a nice little trade there. Cooked Cascade. Sorry, cooked Crab by Cascade. And yep, that was definitely cooked there in between those 2 Ion Storms. We're approaching the 40-minute stage in this game, and we should already see some efforts to end it by now. Artillery is being built here by Maisie, some Emissary, the best T3 artillery in my opinion of the game. Don't see any other counter to that, or nukes, or anything. Kind of interestingly, that Team 2 not really going for that. Billy Nuke still launching, still. He will not stop. The Mad Lab will not stop firing those missiles off his backpack, and he can load them pretty quickly, to be fair. There we go. And is that 49,000 mass, and it's just halting a decent amount of that progress here for Team 1. There was 1 chicken in defense, but there are 2 chickens and a Monkey Lord. That chicken just deciding to end it all, but just suicide on top of all those experimentals. And will he get close enough to make it a difference? It's up 5,000. Oh, I couldn't even count it down. He's already dead. The chickens will get out of range. So didn't really make it count, unfortunately, here. But we'll get some Zooey in the mix. So that's a nice consolation prize, but not necessarily what he wanted. Team 1, I mean, they're being decently defensive / aggressive. It's kind of weird. But we do have a nice little air fight here in the south going on between Team 2's Air Forces and Team 1's Whalers, really assisting with some AA on board those gunships. But there's a lot of direct fire T3 from the comm of Blissful Noob. That will take on all of those gunships. Team 1 will have air control for now, but as long as they stay under T3AA, even T2 for that matter, for very much longer. It's not really going to make the difference, and I think it's just going to be essentially a trade here. We have some ASFs do make it out of dodge here for Maisie, but all the ASFs for Orb are dead in the water. We do see Orb starting laser on board that commander. Nuke still launching constantly, forcing those chickens to constantly be mobile and not allow Lovely Surmise to get some more mass killed. We do see Blissful Noob again just extending his influence on that eastern side of the map. It's essentially Blissful Noob on the east edge with some assistance from Lovely Surmise. And we have Prince of Wrath on the essentially southern side with Blissful Noob down the middle. Artillery has been spotted here by Team 2, and it is in the green. No shields. Definitely a need to fix that, Maisie. Definitely need to fix that. Team 2 has now spotted that, and nope. As I say, some of the shield has been built. There are some Othams sitting here, lying in wait here with a nice little T3 mobile shield to protect at least some of them. And Billy Nuke launches once again, deals some damage to those chickens. One chicken at 5-star at 100. 100,000, 500 mass. Almost at 50 mass, but 500 mass. And Lovely Surmise now at still 49,000 mass killed. Hasn't gone over the 50,000 mark as of yet, but is making his way there. Just as the channel is making its way over the hump of it. It's already made its way over the hump of 1,000, but it's continuing on pressing forward. Regardless if you see this the day it releases, the week after it releases, or 3 years after it releases, I do appreciate all of the support, the eyeballs, the time, the attention. Thank you so very much for watching. Please, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button, and of course share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. Let's take a look at the reclaim. I want to really take a look at total reclaim, reclaimed, mass reclaimed is probably the way I should phrase that. But both teams sitting at about at least 250,000. Team 2 a little bit ahead of that, but not by much. The totals do favor Team 2 with the total mass accrued at 2 million plus, while Team 1 hasn't even accrued 2 million yet. And that's due to the fact that Team 2 has been just generating more than their opponents. And at some point, that does make the difference in who wins the game. Team 1 isn't funneling their mass into any sort of T4 nonsense plays, which means it's all the T4 being game renders, not necessarily T4 in terms of that. But of course, there's a glitch still on my screen, and the chickens are not going to force back Lovely Surmise for the first time in this game. This base will be taken out. 2 chickens are inbound to try to save it, but the damage is done. Most of that base is up in smoke. Shields are trying to be built to defend it, but even if the chickens can defend some of it, it's not going to mean a whole lot. Billy Nuke is inbound, going to take out a decent amount of Zooey in the mix. There they go. They're probably going after those chickens, but at least, again, a consolation prize will be better than nothing. Western side crab comes up once again. Team 2 doesn't really have the defenses to deal with that. It has a couple of chickens, which might be enough, but they are producing their own crab, so Team 1 should press the advantage while they have it. Artillery raining in here from some T3 mobile from some Sathanas, but one chicken is down. The Ion Storm will probably slow down these chickens from Team 2. Maybe not. Billy Nuke is inbound once again. He's going to Billy Nuke his own units. That's never a good idea. And those chickens go, "Hey, boss, that's you. What are you doing?" The Billy Nuke does land. The second chicken is taken out, but the second chicken is taken out from Team 2 as well, so it's a trade. Sorry, first chicken taken out. So 2 chickens for 1 chicken and a bunch of Ion Storm nonsense. Essentially renders any fighting in that eastern side of the map kind of mute. But we do see some Othams pushing against the base here for Team 1's. Maisie has a nice line of PD being built. Team 1 and T2. Chickens coming in from the east to assist from Mellow, and now being sandwiched by some Harbingers. It's a battle of 3 fronts, and Team 2 is losing that conflict. The Othams might be able to force back the chicken back a little bit, but the Othams are constantly engaged and forcing back the T3 spam from Team 1's Mellow. That does look like the attack has petered out here from Blissful Noob, and they'll have to find another way to take out that artillery. Artillery still firing, I'm assuming, at his air grid, which would be the main target, and the shields are holding, kind of. Looks like one facility was taken out, and the shields are now, very much coming offline. Cybern are not the best, and that emissary is the best T3 artillery in the game, just due to the fact that it has this, secondary pulse that occurs after the initial shot. It can do devastating amounts of damage. and can take out shields very, very quickly. And the artillery should still be firing on that air grid unless it's moved targets. And the megaliths still churning forward here for Team 1. Those are not going to go anywhere anytime soon here. And Team 2 needs to just face it and deal with them. A cloaked preset T3 SACU that cannot be seen by Team 1. You can just see essentially the little stealth effect and the shot, or the feet that do move eventually. You can see the footsteps. Team 1 can see those. You can see them walking around. Looks like the experimentals will retreat for the time being, but there are a decent amount of harborages now on this western side. Crabs trying to come in and deal with this chicken as well. And I think the megaliths will turn around. I think they tried to draw in the chickens here from Team 2, but the chicken will be close enough to deal with that first megalith, and then the second chicken will probably just run up and hug the megalith here from Team 1. And an ender worth of mass at the top, says Cascade. There is a monkey versus a chicken, and that chicken will just run face first into that megalith. They'll actually boop one another. Boop them again. Hey, stop booping me. Hey. Hey, stop booping me. Hey, stop it. Stop booping me. Can you get out of my face? And the monkey is down, and the chicken, will it survive? Oh, 3,000 hit points, 2,500, and it does barely survive. We do see that chicken here from Team 2 will get killed, but again, they're forcing back those experimentals. Both chickens are down, and another megalith coming in to assist. Maybe that was the other one from earlier, but this is not good between Team 1 and Team 2. That neither of them can really get, a secure hold of that side of the map, and mass is just being traded by one another at this point. Team 2 at 1.5k mass per second. Team 1 at almost 1,000. Their mass has dropped a little bit. Doesn't help that some chickens come in and will constantly annoy Team 1. Backlash being not really necessarily the best recipient of all of that incoming firepower. He's the closest one on the front line, which means that's just kind of what happens. Team 1, of course, they have their shining ray of hope with that artillery. I don't see any other efforts to go for any other artillery. It's just that one. Don't know if there was a gentleman's agreement beforehand or not. But if there was, that's always disappointing, because I always love to see, those massive lines of T3 artillery with some game enders and a whole bunch of stuff. But never. Sometimes it's not the case. They can have those agreements. Which kind of make the game definitely interesting, because then you just don't rely on that tactic and you have to think of some other way to win. So it's definitely a nice way to kind of force players to play in a different way. But we do have some air scouts flying over the top. They will see, of course, the shield is pretty strong. Pretty strong is definitely in air quotes. It's relatively strong. But did that Billy Nuke seriously land? Yup, it can land all the way over there. I wouldn't say Billy Nuke OP, but Billy Nuke is really strong. That is for Billy. ACU says schmuck. And that active backlash comm is retreating. It's not that for a while, though. 88, almost 89,000 mass killed off by Team 2's Let Me Some Rice's commander. And artillery still probably raining in on the air grid, I would assume, at this point. I don't know if it has switched its targets or not. In the west, it is Crab v. Crab. And Team 1, I mean, those crabs are severely wounded. Team 2's crabs are perfectly fine. There's even a cloaked precept. Hanging out. Whalers coming in to go and deal with the megalith, but there are some of these bouncers nearby. The Whalers actually targeting the bouncers first. That's actually the better idea. Crab, it does get taken out, and we can see this nice little SACU going to charge forward and assist with dealing with that crab. And there it goes. Will it get the final kill? No, it won't. Final shot? No, it won't. But the Whalers are coming in full force here from Team 1's orb. Just don't know if this is really worth it. I mean, it's going to slow down the advance, but a lot of mass to devote to that attack. And Team 1 isn't even going to be able to get that mass. And that first crab is taken out. A brick will die just because it gets crushed by it. Blue Nuke landing here. Again, Team 1, you're not building TMD. Like, what are you doing? You've known for a very long time that Team 2 has a commander with Billy Nuke, and one player has built some TMD, and those are volcanoes. Those are the easy TMD to use. But Chicken will be killed off by Chicken here from Team 1. It's just a Chicken massacre. A bunch of SACU Rambo preset commanders starting to make their way on the battle lines here. Ford Love Me Some Rice wanting to elevate his fellow UEF compatriots. Love, you should have a Continental so you can retreat, says Schmuck. Definitely a good thing to note. I don't think it's necessary at the current moment. He does have some shields from some teammates. He's killed off 93,000 mass, but it is a good thing to have, kind of just sitting maybe back here. But I don't... Is it needed? Not necessarily, but it's just nice to have. Billy Nuke landing once again. But again, as Love Me Some Rice gets closer and closer to Team 1's front line, that range on that Billy Nuke can stretch further and further into their territory. And it's just devastating here for Team 1. They're just feeling the pain here in terms of mass generation. Team 1 still not above 1,000. Team 2 now at 1.6. And I think we can see it. Where's that? Billy, where's that? Active Backlash is upset. He is annoyed. He has nothing left to his name. TMD says Active Backlash. Yes, finally someone says it. Dang, it took, I don't know, 49 minutes or however many minutes after that Billy Nuke was instructed to be like, hey, we should build some TMD, and that would deal with that very quickly. And no one decided to do that except Maisie, just because he got struck one time. What's the plan here, says Mello. His forces are being depleted very, very quickly. His eco also being depleted just due to the fact of that one Billy Nuke. TMD now being built. You need a lot more than just one. Upgrade my commander, says Active. Help him get Mazer, and maybe he kills the air grid. I mean, even if he kills the air grid, right? The air grid is down. I feel like Team 2 has enough. They're going for multiple artillery as we speak. One by Blissful Noob, one by Prince of Wrath. What is that artillery doing from Team 1? What is the main target? Still going after air grid, I'm assuming? Yeah, I would assume. Does Team 2 have... Oh, it's T3 mobile. Okay. Look like T3 artillery. But crabs and chickens just forcing Team 1 back. Well, anyway, I'm leaving. Team 1 recall. Suffered enough this game. Survival. Wave 15, says Cascade. I feel like we gotta try at least something, says Mello. And there are some Strat bombers being built on the western side here. And they're going to retreat. I think the ASF are moving in to intercept. Crab and... sorry, not Crab. 2 monkeys will kill off a Colossus. And those bombers will retreat. I think the ASFs will just press the issue. Yes, they will. I think they figured out what they are. Oh, they can see them, actually. Never mind. They know exactly what they are. And there they go. They're going to be dead in the water there. 50 minutes on the clock here. And Team 2 is definitely in the driver's seat. Thought Team 1 had it for a while. But I think it was just so much just annoyingness coming out from Team 2 on this eastern side. It's really just what did them in. Did Team 1 in. And the crab not allowing to be produced. Well played, says Cascade. GG, says Blissful Noob. 50 minutes, 47 seconds on the clock. Both of the comms in the northern section. One has teleporter and laser. Billy Nuke inbound takes out both of them. Ouch. Ouch. Oh. But Team 1 still has one player left of Maisie. GG, says Mello. And Maisie might just go, nah, I'm just going to leave. And there he goes. He's like, nope, I'm done. I'm done. See ya, bye. And on that was, I thought that was the last 2 comms on Team 1, but no, it wasn't. But that double kill snipe by Team 2. The game was already over at that point. But man, love me some rice. 129,000 mass killed by pretty much just the Billy Nuke. And I feel like in this game, he deserves the MVP award. He pressured constantly here on this eastern side. Had some assistance from his teammate of Nightblood. He got killed by a Monkey Lord. But he just kept on the pressure. And he had that Billy Nuke for a while. And Team 1 did not build any TMD. I mean, he took out spots here. He almost took out the T3 land headquarters here. I mean, another one here, another one here, another one here. I mean, you can see all the spots that he just threw Billy Nukes on. The one right here. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Let's say 20, it's probably about maybe 25 or so Billy Nukes. And definitely did not build enough TMD there. Team 1 definitely should have done something about that. But that is the game. Team 2 wins the game with 3 of their players remaining, and I award the MVP to Love Me Some Rice. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one.